Two, we should be concerned because now there are 25,000 rounds of ammunition that are unaccounted for, and we don't know where they are, who has it, right? It could be on our streets. It means that we are going to have more citizens who are going to be falling prey to violent crime. And thirdly, do I remember what was the third thing? What was the third thing? This is not funny, Esther. Just now, it will come back to me.
It's our senior moments.
Yeah, it's oh my gosh, I should have written it down.
But that's
Oh,
okay. But
and thirdly, I remember it. It also points to a problem that is not going to be easily eradicated by just doing an investigation. It points to a larger problem that we have had in our country for decades, going back to the days of, his Randall Burroughs was his name. We have always
yes,
known that our defense force, our police service, and our government, we have always known that these institutions are littered with corruption, right? And there are people in high places who do not wish anything good for the citizens. They are there to do the bidding of more powerful men, and they are there to line their pockets. So this is not a matter of firing one man or doing an investigation. This is about us as a nation searching our souls and and deciding where we want to go or who we want to be in the future. And it means that we have to start making better choices in terms of who we choose for leadership. And we need to demand of those people that they are transparent and that they are held to the highest standards of accountability, right? I don't believe that we are so far gone that the ship cannot be righted. I don't believe that at all. I just think that we have never had people who have had the courage to do what is necessary to right this ship. Trinidad is not a lost cause. I refuse to believe that. And I refuse to believe that because I am a citizen of this country and I don't wish to be run from my country. I want to live here. I would like to live out my life here. I would like to die here and be buried here. I feel it's the least that you could want as a, for me, as a daughter of the soil, right? So Esther was right when she said we need to pay close attention to what we are doing in this election season and make better choices.
definitely, and I agree with you, Hadassah. It's a matter of wanting. You are born here. You are a citizen of this country. You want to enjoy your life, and you're entitled to enjoy your life, your time on the earth here. And you want to
Hmm.
die here. You want to be buried here. It is crucial for people to understand that we play a very important role in questioning the government, and not just this government, but even when the UNC government comes into power, we need to hold them accountable. And one of the things I have been saying is that we as citizens has to hold ourselves also accountable so that we can hold those who we have elected to be in our parliament accountable to what they are giving to us, what they are giving us as response to these things that is taking place in our country. We need to get reports, and we need to get it respectfully. And this PNM government has been here for 9+ years, and they have not really been, like I said before, giving us the regard and the respect that we deserve as citizens, all because we have not stood up to them and let them know that we want answers. And when some team or somebody comes up with, okay, let's go before the parliament or whatever, go and protest. There are a number of ways to do it. You don't even have to protest. There are ways to allow and let the government know that we want accountability. So far, it has always been just voting them out. And I think the time has reached where it's not a matter of just voting out a government. Um, we want accountability. So there must be somehow, some way that we hold them accountable, either by shutting down the country, by doing something, but the citizens must come together. It cannot be that you are PNM and I am UNC. So if PNM is in power, they do whatever the hell they want to do. And because I support PNM, because I have a contract under the PNM government or whatever, I don't want to be victimized and I don't want this and I don't. So I stay quiet and I allow the government to ruin our country. If you are UNC, the same thing. We have to come, we have to change our mindset. We have to think about what we are doing and what type of country that we would love to have as citizens, and stop allowing the government of the day to ruin our lives, because our lives are being ruined by their action. We have put them there to serve us. We have put them there to manage the resources that belongs to us as citizens, all of us, including themselves. And we have to hold them accountable. But this haven't been happening, Hadassah. What we see is happening is a lot of biasness, right? And that has to stop. I don't know how you want to respond to that, but I think we have to find a way as citizens, like other countries, where they stand up for the government because we elected them and put them there to serve us. And that has not been happening.
um, what can I say? I think that in general, the general voting public um, has not done a thorough enough job at educating themselves about their rights, about the laws of the land, about the Constitution. So they don't know um, when their rights are being infringed, and they don't know when or how to hold the government accountable. That's one thing. The second thing is that power and money are very real factors in all of this, right? I make a conscious, deliberate effort not to take in too much of the news, right? Or at least try to filter it, because I know that the news media has been bought and paid for, right? They sing for their supper. It is very, 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 very clear who they support, right? Why that is dangerous is because they have the ear of the population, right? And you're talking about generations of people who grew up sitting down every night at 7 o'clock, listening to Panorama. Then it became TV6. Now it's CNC3, right? And we have watched as the news has become less and less objective. It's no longer the fourth estate. They are not doing any investigative journalism. They are not um, asking the right questions, right? They are not empowering the citizens the way that the media was intended to act. So we also have that happening as well. Money and power um, being used to manipulate the public, to sow different seeds in the people's minds, uh, to create certain narratives, and to spread propaganda. And this is what we are dealing with. And the only way to combat that is like what I said when I started, which is educating the people, or people taking the initiative to become educated. And thirdly, I would always get back to this. It is what I wish more than anything for my brothers and sisters, my fellow men in this country. What I wish more than anything is for us to come to a place where the scales of sycophancy and the scales of tribal voting and that type of loyalty falls off, and we recognize what we deserve. And we recognize how we have been robbed and cheated by a particular administration that has not had our interests at heart for years. So this is what we are dealing with. And that is my response to this, Esther. I don't know what you're going to do with that, but
Well,
I'm very
well said.
concerned. I'm really very concerned. Yeah, that is it.
Well said. And I mean, I that's the reality. So I can't do anything but to say, yes, that is our reality, and that's the way we ought to go. As citizens, we have to be proactive, and we have to bring our government to account to us
Hmm.
for what is happening in our nation, because come election, they come to us and, they ask for our support, and we give it to them, and then they treat us as though we are nobody. We are little dogs and cats running around. So they could spit on us, they can throw water on us. That's what they actually do, especially this PNM government led by the Honorable, they call him. I don't really see anything honorable about Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, because an honorable person respects themselves and others. An honorable person is going to respect the people that put you there to serve, and you will do it with great honor. But he has not been doing that well to the masses. I don't know, some people may say yes, but I mean, based on the news, based on actions, based on comments that he made, I cannot see that. I felt and I continue to feel disrespected every time Dr. Keith Rowley gets on a podium to have a press conference or to say something to the people, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. You feel disrespected by his tone, by the words that he would use to describe, whatever he wants to describe. I pay very little attention. But I want to say that we are dealing with security still, and because of the lack of information that you get from these so-called ministers that are placed there to give us, the citizens, some information to make us feel, that we are part of what is taking place and we can even help. Now, I am saying, based on the information that 25,000 ammunition has gone missing, is it that our police, well, we know they would say it is alleged, but to me it's not alleged, it is facts. There are police officers who are running drug blocks. There are police officers and soldiers who are into criminal activity against the laws of this land in Trinidad and Tobago. They are doing things, and the Bible said, to whom much is given, much is required. So even though they are citizens, they are part of a team, of an agency that is there to protect and to serve. And of course, the regiment is there to kill. But you feel as though there is so much that is happening that we are not aware of, and nobody says anything to us. I just wonder. I wanted to read something I saw here where they actually were saying that, is it that the criminals, the police officers and soldiers are teaming up to overthrow the government. Now, it takes me back to 1990 when the government was overthrown by the Muslimin, led by the deceased Abu Bakr. Is it something like that is happening, but we are in the dark because we didn't know? You heard certain things in the pipeline before that overthrow took place, but you didn't have any real evidence.